This is just a ranked, I think, like mid-silver elo game that my buddy and his friend are playing. I love spectating this person specifically because his games end up being like so chaotic every single time. I don't know how or why, but all of his games that I watch are just like craziness. Like one person will get like ridiculously fed or like just crazy team fights that shouldn't happen, and it just always ends up being a mess. So I love watching these games. So sometimes when I watch a game, I'll do analytics for the person that I'm watching, and I'll um, keep the camera on them and criticize slash critique slash positively talk about that person. But this, I'm just gonna watch this entire game as a whole. So I won't have Fog of War turned on or champion selected specifically. I'm excited to see this Yone Silas top lane for sure, just because it's like a really aggro top lane. And I don't know why we're not loading into the game. We're at 100%. We'll see what's going on. I don't know if it's me or the game itself, but oh, there we go. So the person I'm watching is the Senna, and his friend is the Hecarim. I don't know what rank his friend is, the Hecarim, but he's like mid silver or low silver or something. Immediately gonna critique this red team. Always, always, always. This is a ranked game. Keep in mind, always go out to your spots. Like as soon as the game starts, you need to buy your items before that gate goes down, and be ready to go out to the map. One of the biggest reasons that you can lose a ranked game, especially at this elo, is if the enemy team decides to invade and you're not out at your spot guarding your spot, and they get first blood or they get a good invade and steal stuff. Like people tilt so quickly in this elo that you can lose a game off of one kill, especially first blood. I would bet that getting killed or getting first blooded gives you like I don't know, close to like 50 to or double even percent chance of losing a game at this elo just because it tilts people so hard. Oh, what cast skin is that? Is that must be the Spirit Blossom's skin with the chroma or something. That's kind of cool. But yeah, don't ever let your jungler get invaded, and don't let your team get first blooded, um, because you're not prepared to start the game. Like if you're playing ranked, you need to pay attention and make sure you're in like serious mode. Um, so yeah, as soon as the game opens up, buy your item, run as quickly as you can down to your spot, plug those holes in the river. Don't let them invade you. So what I saw with Yone, as soon as he came out, I don't think I saw him win a single game for probably almost the entire first week that he was out. Um, Now that he's been out for a little over a week, I think, I see him win like every game. Like it was really weird the way it worked, but like people did not understand him at all, and then all of a sudden he just clicked for everybody at the same time. But I don't think I've seen him lose actually in the last couple days. So hopefully that continues and they get a win off of this. He's a little behind right now. If you're trading evenly with a Silas, you're behind. because he gets massive heals. So this doesn't look good for blue. Yeah. He didn't even need the Kha'Zix there, he could have just soloed him. Ooh, well. Chaos ensues at 3 minutes. Everyone gets a kill, basically. Except for the Silas, of course, who was assisted. So, yeah, Hecarim absolutely didn't need to die there. He didn't need to go in at all, really, to get that kill. Like, Senna could have just autoed one more time. So he didn't need to go in and die. And again, if you're trading evenly or slightly ahead of a Silas, you're actually behind. So this isn't going super well for the Yone. Yeah. Someone's tilting. I don't know who. But when someone spam pings like that, they're already tilting. It's probably the Yone, but I can't tell. So this is super weird. I actually literally didn't notice until just now that the Fizz is bot. I thought he was just roaming or something last time I saw him down here. But he's doing really well. I mean, Fizz does a ton of damage, especially with someone like a Zyra able to provide some CC for him. So, yeah, this is just, yeah, this sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if Hecarim just dies. Yeah, that was pointless. You can't try to do those ganks. So this is, I mean, there's a massive lead, of course, on red team, but that doesn't mean this is a guaranteed loss. At any elo, really, not even just middle or lower elos, like, any game can be won. Mainly because the biggest reason is because as soon as someone starts getting ahead, a lot of times they'll start playing differently. Like, they'll not pay as much attention, they'll get cocky, they'll go in for stuff that they shouldn't. They won't ward as much, those kind of things, and you can just straight up lose a game from getting picked even once. So as soon as somebody does that, gets cocky because they're ahead and dies, then you have a chance to come back in and win a game. So there's no such thing as a game that's an automatic loss. That being said, a lot of those games do require the enemy team to make a mistake, but it's just as likely to happen that they make a mistake as if you were to make a mistake. So it definitely happens, and it's definitely worth continuing to try your hardest every game, even if you're way behind. I can't really critique anyone's play right now, except for maybe the Hecarim for dying a couple times where he didn't need to. He is getting some kills though. which is good, but he didn't need to die some of those times. There, that's really good. That's not always easy to do. Even as a Hecarim that moves that quickly, is to get that level of engage off. That was really good by him. Yone though, man, this Yone is gonna get tilted. But, I mean, the Kha'Zix is doing the exact right thing. He needs to be focusing that Yone, because he's tilting him, like, off the face of the map here. There you go. I don't think that the Senna needed to die there either. I think once she got her damage out, she could have. Oh, damn. That was good. Once the Senna got her damage out there, she could have backed off and not let the Fizz kill her. Because the cast like had that guaranteed, so. That's good ult. Good ult by Senna. This should be free. Yeah, okay. I was a little scared that he might get rooted. Silas is overcommitting here. But he's fed, so it works out. So I played a Warwick game a little bit ago, just a few minutes actually, and I think that this Hecarim should be doing the same thing that I did in that Warwick game, which is, since he's behind, just focus on controlling that dragon. If he can start stacking up those dragons, then it gives you a really good chance at coming back in the game. He's trying to gank a lot, which is kind of working. Like, he's getting kills, but like his team is still way far behind. So I think he would have much higher benefit if he were to just try to control the dragon area and get those dragons. Sneak them when the Kha'Zix is farming or ganking. I know it's really hard to do that right now, especially because the bot lane is not winning. They don't have prio on their lane, so the red team has vision control on the dragon. But if he focused like all of his time down in the bottom half of the map, he could make sure that the red team bot lane wasn't able to push up into the river and even potentially start getting ganks on the bottom lane, and that would give him control over the dragon pit. So I think if he didn't spend as much time mid and top as he is, he could have turned this lane around and had more control over the dragon. But as it stands right now, the Kha'Zix is getting ganks and dragon control. So Yone just ulted. Yeah. He's either super tilted or just not good. He had just ulted the Sylas, and the Sylas was still at more health than him, and he still went in and fought him after his ult was down. So like, just because you're behind in a lane doesn't mean you need to make really dumb decisions like that. You can still just get whatever farm you can get under your tower without dying. It's better than just dying and not getting any, you know? Ooh, this could be good. The Zyra missed her snare. There we go. Nice. Cool. Man, if I didn't hate green and orange so much, I would love that cast skin, but unfortunately those are like my two least favorite colors. Yeah, this Kha'Zix is essentially taken over at this point. Like, even though Hecarim has, what, 2,000 more gold than Kha'Zix, Kha'Zix is still just controlling every lane. Because he's in the right spots at the right times. He's choosing to do the right things. This is scary. Yeah, I never would have thought this, Fizz bot would work out the way it is. I don't know if it's because there's a caster instead of an AD carry, or if it's just because Zyra is so good with him, like with the snares. But he's killing it. Yone's being dumb again, even with the jungle support. Ooh, they made that work. Sylas missed his last ability there, and they made that one work. Oh. I've noticed that this Orianna is just... Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. I've noticed that this Orianna has actually been bullying the Lux quite a bit, but... Even though she's behind, but the Kha'Zix always made up for it. But I guess now that the Lux has gotten some help, she's able to win those. Ooh, this is a little scary. Nice. So what it looks like has happened is as soon as that Yone got that kill, he kind of flipped a switch in his brain. And that can definitely happen. Like, you get super far behind, you start going on autopilot, you're like, oh, I'm gonna lose this game. And you stop trying, you get tilted. but as soon as you get a kill, you just kind of flip back into like, hey, let's play the game mode. And he's starting to be in the right places and help his team. So that could be what they need to win this game, honestly. Yeah, they're doing really well now. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter how far behind you are. As soon as your whole team starts working together, if the enemy team isn't all working as 5 like you are, then you will win a game. Ooh, that was a big heal. That was really close, actually. Yone might still die, but we'll see. Nope. Okay. Hecarim might die. We'll see. Yeah, I think he's dead. Yeah. So that was 950 gold that just went over to Fizz. And he was already 3,600 gold ahead of the Cass, which is insane. So we'll see what Fizz starts doing. Fizz and Silas could be a really nasty combo. Although I do think that Hecarim provides a ton more to the team than Kha'Zix does. And he's the fed one, so Hecarim might be the team fight winner here. Oops, Silas missed his stun again. Yeah, they're just together and the red team isn't. So if they keep this up, they'll win. It's actually super weird. I've probably spectated like 3 or 4 games today and played like 3 or 4 also. And I've seen 2 people with the name Yasuo with like different characters. Like this guy's got a bunch of lines on the top of his. And I've seen also, unexpectedly, 2 people with the name Bay Area that have like a different first word. This guy's Yay Area, and the other one was Bay Area with a B-A-E instead of B-A-Y. So that's interesting. There's also 2 Crimsons in this game, Crimson and Crimson Pearl. So if this Baron goes over to red, actually it probably won't. I'm gonna hold off on this. It might. Yeah. I thought there would be a bigger contest there, but what I was gonna say is if this Baron goes over to red, honestly it doesn't mean anything, because they're gonna lose the team fight anyway. Is what I thought, but we'll see. Ooh, they're actually coming out ahead. I didn't expect that. I thought that red was gonna get wiped after taking that Baron, but the Zyra got some really good damage and zoning off before the Baron died. So red team didn't really get as low on health as I thought they would. Ooh, blue team is trying to surrender. That's bad. This is an absolutely winnable game. And I know I say that a lot, but this one's like very, very much winnable. Ooh, you don't want to fight that. Still don't. Don't do it. Ooh, they're kind of messing up now, actually. Yeah. So that TP in from Silas was like one of the worst positioned TPs. He basically, oh, they're still gonna kind of win because they're so fed. Well, the TP from Silas basically got him and Zyra killed because it was such a bad position. And I thought that was going to be the way that blue team came back into that one, but the Kazakhs and the Fizz are so fed that they just overpowered the outnumbered fight. Ugh. Feels so bad. Fizz is so hard to kill. That was also a bad TP. But he didn't die at least. So what it's kind of looked like has happened here is as soon as the red team got the Baron and didn't all die, everyone on the blue team, or at least a couple of them, have decided now that the game is not winnable. And so they're just all screwing around and not really making the right decisions. Which is really unfortunate because that Baron really didn't mean anything. Like, it got them some gold, but they didn't get really any other objectives because of that Baron. They didn't push, they didn't group, and get like an inhib or anything. They just kind of like wiggled around. They did get a dragon at one point, but that wasn't because of the Baron. But blue team seems to think that that Baron was like the end of the game. Yeah, I don't know about diving. Doesn't seem like the best idea. Hecarim was tanking that for a while pretty well. But if you're even in a game or behind in a game, you absolutely don't want to dive. And not only just because you might lose the dive and die, but because if you dive and you do lose the dive or end up dying, then people on your team are just going to think you're an idiot and stop trying to win the game too. That's one thing you really gotta be aware. Oh shit, that was a good ult by Fizz. Um, you really gotta be aware of what you're doing um, in this elo because if you do something that your team sees as bad or a mistake or um, inty, then they'll just give up and like rage quit. So you've got to be really kind of aware of what you're doing. Even if it's the right decision. Sometimes it'll be the right decision, but if it doesn't work out for you like perfectly, then your team will just get pissed. So and this Silas is just popping right now. It's unfortunate too because Hecarim almost really turned this around with his team fight power and his tankiness. What is he building? Yeah, so he's got a good build. It's kind of tanky and kind of carry-y at the same time. But that's Mountain Soul, and that's close to the end of the game, most likely. And it didn't need to be. I think if blue team didn't kind of start giving up when they lost that Baron, I think they could have definitely still won this. This is the part where I kind of feel like it might be almost over, though. Oh, wow. But yeah, so since this game I'm spectating the entire game and not just one team or one player, I don't have a lot of critiques on the actual play itself. Uh, what I can, since I just can't really see like every little thing that everyone's doing mechanically, so what I usually do is just kind of critique people's behaviors and how the team is performing. So really no critiques on like individual play here. I can't say whether one person did one or two things better. Well, except for that Cass absolutely did not need to do that. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna give like mechanical critiques and stuff. But yeah, if I had to guess, and I'll find out after this because I know um, those two people on the blue team. I'll probably find out, but I'm betting that the Yone was one of the ones that was pretty ragey this game and not really behaving as he should if he wanted to win. I don't really know who the other person was. It could have been the cast because she's really far behind. But there were two people for sure based on the surrender requests that had given up basically pretty early. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Like that was so unfortunate. That looked like it was going to be a really good fight for blue. And then that Silas stealing that Senna ult, just killing everybody. Oh man. And then the Silas just 1v3ing. That's a heartbreaker because that could have been a good fight. But yeah, so that's the chaos that happens in this dude's games. Pretty much every game. Like there's like a rage quitter or like some like massive like bad ranked thing, faux pas that someone does. And then there's always like that glimmer of hope and then it yeah. So yeah, fun to watch that one. Can't critique anyone's play individually, but behaviorally it was a mess for blue team. Um, and red team kind of kept it together, it seemed like, throughout that whole game. So that's the reason they won.